Well, both managers, both young, promising managers, Simon Grayson and his counterpart, Eddie Howe, promoted last season. It's Leeds' first season back here at Championship level, remember? And Eddie Howe still very early on in his job. They're trying to get Burnley back to the big time at the first time of asking. Well, this is it. This is the afternoon that will define exactly what 9 months' work over the course of the season will produce, whether recent slips will prove costly.
Well, they've got an opportunity, these two teams, just to crank pressure up on the Nottingham Forest in 6th place. Forest had an opportunity, didn't they? Good Friday. They played before everybody else. They beat Leicester. They got themselves into that 6th spot, and then results went their way. And that's what both of these teams have got to do. Burnley can get into the top 6. And Leeds can put the pressure on as well.
2 games left, and both managers will have set targets. 6 points out of 6 as a bare minimum. That's all they can do, and then hope. It would be very uncharacteristic, given what we've seen in the N-Power Championship so far this season, if it was to be a smooth and routine last 10 days or so of it.
Well, I'm with you. 2 games to go. Still the potential for twists and turns. And that's what we love about it.
Well, plenty of twists and turns when these two met earlier on this season. Burnley racing into a 2-0 lead. Leeds coming back to win it 3-2 at Turf Moor. Here's Eagles. 2 to stop it, and in doing so, Eagles, the in-form player for Burnley, the standout player, the top scorer, gives away the free kick. He's certainly come into the one-to-watch category as far as they're concerned, wouldn't he, Don?
Oh, for sure. You need your big players, don't you, to come to the fore when the pressure's on. The pressure has been on for Burnley. Lost 5 out of 6 prior to this little 4-match unbeaten run. Chris Eagles, all of a sudden, 4 goals in 4 games.
One of the concerns for Leeds, having been involved in goals all season at both ends of the field, is the fact that they come into this one with a strike pairing who only have 1 between them. Here we are in the penultimate match. Ross McCormack, 19 games in without a goal yet in the colours of Leeds, and Billy Painter, 22 games in, only has 1.
They still have some players out there. This fella won. Fantastic goal-scoring season.
17 have come from the little fella Max Gradle. He's won a free kick here. Phil Crossley, by the way, our referee here in the sunshine this lunchtime at Ellen Road. Gradle quick to try and pounce. Good deep hanging ball for Bradley Johnson to attack.
And Tyrone Mears did ever so well at the far post, didn't he? The fullback was a header that he had to win. And Burnley switched off, allowed that free kick to be taken super quickly.
We'll try not to fall into the trap that we did here against Reading and say that these are 2 sides who always score. Whatever happens, they don't keep clean sheets, and they tend to score at the other end. Finish 0-0, of course. But having said that, we can point out that Burnley haven't kept a clean sheet in 10 games, and this is the ground that's seen most goals in the Championship this season. Painter, McCormack, Painter. Lehigh, the on loan Aston Villa fullback. Gradle.
It's been a bright opening by Leeds United. I suppose Burnley would have expected Leeds to be coming at them in the early parts of this game. We heard Eddie Howe say, didn't we, before kick-off, it is about his team still being in it. With 20 minutes or so to go, they have to get the balance right. Both of them do. Can't be too gung-ho too early.
They've got one of the best target men in the business in Chris Uwelemo at this level to aim at, and so Andy O'Brien and Richard Naylor alongside him are going to have their hands full in that respect.
Well, I think both defences are going to have their hands full. Speak about Leeds missing Becchio and missing Sommer. It's 30 goals or so. Any team would miss them, but as I said, still got players out there more than capable of hitting the back of the net.
Neil Kilkenny stands over this one for Leeds. Recalled to the side after a couple out. Plenty of options for him inside this Burnley box. Naylor wearing their Leeds armband, involved in the thick of it. Tight with Andre Biquet. Kenny's delivering. Bradley Johnson goes down. Leeds appeal for more than the corner that they have been given.
I'm not sure he was appealing, Bradley Johnson, until after the supporters that will appeal for anything. He's leaning back, he's lost his balance. It's good defending, no penalty.
Leeds finding themselves on the front foot. Just 5 minutes gone. Malamo forced back to do some defending. Painter threw himself at it, and it's another Leeds United corner.
The worry for Burnley is that it is Leeds United heads. They're getting on the end of these crosses at the moment.
Kilkenny's corner. That's excellent perseverance by Howson, and he's found McCormack.
Oh, I'm not sure whether Ross McCormack is trying to cross this to the far post, or whether he does feel that Brian Jensen, a big man, isn't he, is off his line. But lots of space for McCormack, too much space from a Burnley perspective, but maybe could have been doing better there, Ross McCormack.
Well, I think the Ross McCormack, Don, who was banging the goals in for Cardiff a couple of seasons ago, would have certainly tested Brian Jensen a little bit more from there, wouldn't he?
Well, he may well have just elected to put his foot through the ball, try and hit the target. You never know what can happen. We saw the unfortunate Chris Wheel, didn't we? Spill Nottingham Forest shot that we would have expected him to catch.
There's Eagles. Jack Cork. Fox looking for a Wellamo, might just find him as well. George McCartney tucking in.
Well, George McCartney does ever so well, because he lets Chris Wellamo know that he's at his back and he's on his shoulder. Maybe just leans in a fraction. Big fella, never getting there. And that's good from the fullback. You want your fullbacks to be aware. Wellamo will pull towards that far post area more often than not for those kind of crosses.
Good start is so important here for Leeds. There's bound to be a slight sense of disappointment, just because of the fact that they've spent the last 5 months in the top 6, and now, with a week of the season remaining, they find themselves off the pace, barely in touch with the playoff pace, needing others to slip. They can't allow that to foster. Or to fester. Here's McCartney. BK's header. Elliott. Cork on loan from Chelsea. Fox. Here's PK.
Well, that's what they mustn't do, Burnley. 2 or 3 passes together, kept the ball, just got themselves a little feel of the ball, and then lumped up pitch and given back to Leeds United. You can't be doing that.
Painter finding McCormack. Front two combining well for Leeds. Here's Gradle. McCann's come across. Gradle slips. But keeps going. Still Gradle. Now McCormack goes down on the edge of the box. Painter!
Well, that is close. That is close from Billy Painter. It's a difficult skill. It's flicked up in the air, this ball, but how well does Gradle do? Low centre of gravity allows him to get up quick, retain possession, and then drive in. This ball is flicked up, and that is close. Brian Jensen is never getting anywhere near that if that's a foot or so the other side.
Wellamo applying the odds to get his head on the ball. He went for the ball. We can reflect on what a wonderful season has been for Jay Rodriguez. He's been on the fringes, made a little bit of an impact a couple of seasons ago in Burnley's excellent Carling Cup run, but this is the year when the young boy has become the footballing man.
Absolutely. How he would love to round it off with an appearance in the playoffs. Burnley got themselves in the Premier League. We all remember that stunning goal from Wade Elliott. Great way to go up.
Leeds 9th in the table as we kicked off here. Point behind Burnley in 8th. Burnley win would take them into the top 6 of the Championship for the first time since Eddie Howe took over, the first time since November. Even a win wouldn't be enough for Leeds to go back into the top 6 unless they can do it emphatically by 3 clear goals to improve the goal difference and take them above Forest.
You appeal more for fouls.
McCann, Mears. Jack Cork. And the slider through was well read by Howson. McCormack. Gradle. Trying to get Painter in behind. Duffs them. Here's Fox. McCann. And Eagles. In the sort of area where he loves to collect it. And it's an excellent driving run from Burnley's talisman. It's Elliott.
Well, that's what Burnley are having to do. Leeds are forcing them to do is play on the counter-attack. But when you've got a fella like that, Chris Eagles, in your team, not a bad tactic in the early exchanges of an away game.
Oh, Burnley with their first corner. So in front of their travelling 2,000 or so that they brought across the Pennines. Schmeichel with a comfortable play. Going to release Howson. Corks across there. And Howson caught more man than ball.
Simon Grayson inadvertently throwing the ball back in the direction of Jack Cork. It hit Jack Cork. It's a decent reaction from the Burnley staff. It's a clear foul by Howson. Wild swing, but watch football. Yep, was thrown by one Simon Grayson. I don't think there was any malice in it.
I think it was an honest mistake. Eagles holding off Kilkenny. An ambitious pass, which is cleared away by McCartney. Duff. BK. It's been the preferred central defensive pairing for the last 5 games or so. Northern Ireland and Cameroon blend at the back.
Well, it's lively out there. Arms were raised as they were jostling to the ball. Bradley Johnson and Wade Elliott right in front of the assistant referee. Referee Phil Crossley just having to calm them down. Look, arms are up. A little bit of afters. In fairness to them, decent reaction. I dread to think what would have happened if that had been Barcelona, Real Madrid, the reaction that might have happened there.
Stretcher would certainly be on, that's
I
for
think
sure.
so, I think so.
Approaching the quarter of an hour mark. Burnley will hope they've weathered something of the early Leeds storm. Certainly the game plan for Simon Grayson, I'm sure, would have been to try and grab the early goal to get this capacity crowd really on side. That's a risky one at the back from Eric Lehigh. He's recovered at the expense of a corner.
He's getting a little bit of a flea in his ear from Kasper Schmeichel, and rightly so. I do not know what he's thinking here. Once he brings it down, he's got to hoof it away. Takes his time. It's almost like he was trying to cushion it back to Kasper Schmeichel. Wrong decision.
Well, we'll find out in a moment exactly how costly it's going to prove. It's another Burnley corner. It's Wade Elliott to take it again. Duff and BK up from the back. Uwelamo, always an aerial threat. Kane heads it back towards the goal. Away by Howson. But given away. Cork. Loses out to Bradley Johnson. Leeds can spring forward. Painter wanted the early ball play. Wasn't played quite where he wanted it.
There was an opportunity for a 5v3 there if Leeds had played the cards right. It didn't. Good movement from Billy Painter, but not the best ball Bradley Johnson will ever play.
Howson. Kilkenny. Jake Livermore on loan from Spurs, the one to lose out in terms of the midfield reshuffle for Leeds today. McCormack. Finds Gradle well. Max Gradle still going, looking for Painter, cut out by Duff, and BK can hook it away.
It's not the first time you've said that, is it? Cut out by Duff. In the middle of that defence, it's two important interceptions the captain's made.
Layla. Tyrone Mears. Touched it beyond McCartney. Here comes Bradley Johnson. We knew that little rivalry. When we spoke to Simon Grayson before the game, he said one of the pieces of thinking behind going 4-4-2 was to get at Burnley a little bit more, to be a little bit more positive, to try and force the issue. You see signs of that happening, Don?
Well, they've started well, there's no question. Slowly but surely, Burnley got themselves more and more into the game. Leeds United have been pushing Burnley back, as I say. That's what Eddie Howe would have expected. Still 0-0. Almost through that critical first 20 minutes under the away team.
Now, Burnley's plan will be to get it towards that nervy last 20 minutes, won't it?
For sure.
Well, they have a free kick here, the Clarets. Clipped in by Mears. O'Brien Rose, it's loose. Super save by Kasper Schmeichel. He was alive, he was large, and he foils Burnley.
Well, he was brave. Really brave, the goalkeeper. Just kept his team on terms. Chris Uwelemu wants a penalty here. Now have a little look at this. Andy O'Brien right on top of him. Takes a ride on his shoulders, but the ball breaks. Burnley, wow, great opportunity to take the lead, but what a save from Kasper Schmeichel.
Well, he's looking a little dazed, maybe even a tad confused, Kasper Schmeichel. Still pressing work to do here for Schmeichel and Leeds. Not through the crowded penalty area. Well, that's in the goalkeeper's line of duty, isn't it? Putting your body on the line.
Well, it is. Look at this. Andy O'Brien gets up really early. You know what? You've seen penalties given for that, but it breaks for Duff. You must think he's going to make the back of the net bulge. Look at Uwelemu asking for a penalty. It's a gamble when a defender goes up that early, takes a ride on a big centre half, a big centre forward. It's a long way over the top of Uwelemu. I'm not sure Andy O'Brien got his timing right there. Maybe a little bit lucky to get away with that.
Let's have another look at it, Don. I think it's one of those, of course, and you often hear it, but if he'd done that up by the halfway line, it would almost certainly have been a free kick, wouldn't it?
I think so. We'll have to look at the referee's position, see whether he could see it all clearly.
Mears. In goes Bradley Johnson. Aggressively, but fairly. And Phil Crossley, but that's not the biggest call he's had to make in the last few moments.
No. Look where the referee is there. You can clearly see that. There's nothing. O'Brien doesn't get the ball, takes a huge ride. There you go, arms and everything on top And look at Chris Wellermu's face. That is a penalty, you're right. Anywhere else on the pitch, I think the referee's given a free kick for that. And Burnley consider themselves unlucky. Plenty of movement, wasn't there, from the two central defenders, crossed over. Lots of movement, giving Leeds defence a bit to think about in that free kick.
It's a super build-up play from Chris Eagles again, and maybe an end product.
Well, he is one of those players, he will shoot from anywhere, literally, Chris Eagles. Sometimes it works for him. Sometimes his teammates may be left a little bit frustrated, but he does ever so well. It's going to take something pretty spectacular to beat Kasper Schmeichel from there.
That's a ball that Duff is able to deal with. Kilkenny. Here's Lehigh. The young American looks forward for Bradley Johnson, who gets his head to it.
Both defences, to me, let's look how we would have expected them from the statistics. They look a little bit vulnerable. Already 20 minutes in, and 5 attempts, but it's been the last 3 that have come from the men in claret. Just the one save for either keeper to make. To keep an eye on Phil Crossley in the middle, hasn't he? Players from both sides, just having little words with him here and there.
Neil Kilkenny with the corner. Naylor. Gradle.
Brian Jensen saw this all the way, and that's why he made it look as simple as he did. And this fella's looked lively, hasn't he, in the opening 20 minutes or so, but only goalkeeper, it's moving, isn't it? Keeper deals with it well. Leeds are pressing Burnley really well. Forward players working overtime to close down Burnley at every opportunity.
O'Brien. Let's call back for the initial foul by Chris Eagles. And O'Brien wanted to take it from the wrong spot, so Phil Crossley's pulled it back again. 44 games into this season, just the 2 to go, including this one. So close, tantalisingly close to the top 6, these 2 clubs. Both desperately praying their season doesn't end next weekend as McCartney fires in. And Bradley Johnson is winning his fair share of headers here so far.
Well, if either of these 2 teams are going to do it, are going to get that 6th spot, they certainly have had to do it and will have to do it the hard way. Leeds United away at Queen's Park Rangers next week. Burnley, just a small matter of a home tie with Cardiff.
Of course, a lot of talk this week about an intangible off the field and whether Queen's Park Rangers will be deducted points or what their punishment will be for perceived irregularities in transfer dealings. That's another sideshow. UEFA, incidentally, issuing a statement today, distancing themselves from comments made yesterday in a newspaper. Here's McCormack. Painter might get another bite.
Well, that's where Leeds will feel they need a little bit of luck. They haven't had a lot of luck over the last couple of games. Here against Reading, lots of chances. They're denied by an outstanding goalkeeping performance. Good movement from Ross McCormack, and then good movement from Billy Painter. Points to where he wants the ball, then just misses his kick, but the day, they just have broken a little closer to him. They may have been able to get the strike away.
It's the sort of breaks that strikers that are out on form and down on their luck don't seem to get. Melamo might be in double figures for the season, but he hasn't scored in 15 games. He's the target again. Painter's back now to get it away. And as far as Rodriguez. Eagles. Unconventional bit of distribution there from Schmeichel, but effective enough. He's found Howson. A lot of space for Gradle out on the right, if Kilkenny can find him. Find him he does. Gradle did well to keep it in. McCormack wanted it placed near post, and Gradle picked the wrong option, really.
Well, that's what surprises me. Just two Leeds United players in the penalty area as that cross is coming in. That's a huge surprise for me, for a team that score so many goals. I would have expected one of the midfield players or the other wide player just to be getting up there and getting themselves in a goal-scoring position.
Howson with space to exploit here, movement ahead of him as well. It's run into too much traffic, but BK's outstretched leg has led to a free kick here.
Well, you feel this is always one of those that if Johnny Howson, when he's being closed down, can just flick the ball away, he knows there's going to be contact. He knows that one of those three Burnley players are going to catch him. It's clever play, and now his team a free kick in a very dangerous area.
Ross McCormack looks like he has won through in the discussion as to who will take it. Wearing number 44, without a goal in the colour of Leeds United.
Options as well. Lee Johnson's left foot, nowhere to be seen. No Kilkenny. That's a punch, but Ross McCormack has got history for Cardiff City from this kind of range.
It's McCormack's to take!
Well, it's a decent strike. Sets it out, just doesn't get the bend on it. It's the trajectory right. Over the wall, just no curl on the ball to bring it back in.
We'll go back towards the end of his Cardiff career. It's 26 games now without a goal for Ross McCormack. Extraordinary when you consider the impact he had when he first came into English football.
Well, Leeds are not happy with this challenge. Neil Kilkenny going to go. The referee saying that is a dangerous challenge. It's Jay Rodriguez. I mean, Leeds could have been given a foul for that, but as the ball goes back, Rodriguez closes down. It's cleared away by Lehigh. It's a stamp, isn't it? Stamped down towards the ball, almost like what Pepe got sent off for, isn't it? Difficult one for referees, this. A bouncing ball, a defender clearing, but look, studs showing, studs. Now, I'm not sure that there's a lot of contact, if any. I have to say that. But Jay Rodriguez shouldn't be going in, studs showing like that. Feel the pressure building, can't you? On the stadium, on the pitch, in the stands. A lot of desperate people here in Ellen Road.
Gradle. This is Jack Cork, happily over a recent health scare he had when he was on England under-21 duty. Now Tyrone Mings. Still a long way to go, but it has to be stated that a draw here would suit nobody's case on Ellen Road this afternoon. Just those looking on from afar with playoff interest elsewhere, particularly those with interest over Nottingham Forest and Millwall. Here's Mears. Wade Elliott. Cork.
Pressure on the ball from Leeds is really good again. Really closed down well so far in the opening half an hour.
Painter, Howson, Kilkenny. Bouncing ball just in front of Jensen wasn't enough to really trouble him.
Lots of space. Lots of space. Neil Kilkenny to exploit there. Too much from a Burnley perspective.
Here's Eagles. Uwelemo looking back for Chris Eagles. Here goes Bradley Johnson. It will be Jack Cork that comes away with the ball. Referee with a keen eye to see no foul play. Howson. McCormack is there ahead of Duff. Now McCartney. Only with a chance to get many back. McCormack. Painter! And it's a super stop from Jensen.
Well, I can't tell you how good this header is from Billy Painter because he's going backwards. You think the chance is gone. The ball's behind him from McCormack. He's got to go back and get direction and power. Does both. It's a brilliant header and real good awareness from Brian Jensen. Good goalkeeping.
Clipped in by Kilkenny again. Looking for the run of Bradley Johnson. And he'll just get away from Chris Eagles.
Having to endure little pockets of pressure, Burnley. Withstand them and then try to come again. They haven't been able to build a head of steam up themselves, though.
Painter. Well, it's a cracking and meaningful weekend of action at all levels. Super Sunday tomorrow. Arsenal against Manchester United, live from 1:30 Sky Sports HD1, and that one's available in Sky 3D for you as well. And that's followed by Manchester City against West Ham from 4 o'clock, Sky Sports HD1. Glance from Uwelemo. Schmeichel. Kilkenny. Kilkenny. BK cut it out. Gradle might just get there. But BK prevailed. McCann. A recent testament actually to the footballing qualities of Chris McCann, the way he's come back into the side. So the 3 matches for the reserves after 15 months out and has slotted in so seamlessly. Here's McCormack, great chance, great finish, massive goal for Leeds United. It's McCormack's first, and how meaningful could that one be?
Well, there's an inquest in the centre of that Burnley defence between Michael Duff and Tyrone Mears. Andre BK looks on because it's a simple ball. It shouldn't happen, not if you've got your shape, but watch. It's just laid in and helped round the corner. BK is, what, 4 yards deeper than his central defensive partner. And when it gets through to Ross McCormack, you always wonder, is he going to break it? Is he going to be cool? Is he going to be confident? A man without a goal in a very, very long time. But look at that. It's as cool as you can get. As absolutely cool as you can get. And he'll be relieved. And lots of people in Ellen Road are relieved too. Poor defending, it has to be said. Not on the same wavelength there, those 3 players.
And as far as poor timing goes, it's certainly the case for Burnley, but as far as wonderful timing goes for Leeds United and Ross McCormack, well, if you're saving the best till last, he's done just that. Leeds' last home game of the season, and he's produced.
Timely is the word you're looking for. Really timely. What will that do to Ross McCormack's confidence in front of goal now as well?
Here's Eagles as Burnley look for that immediate response. They might just get it to Uwelemo. Eased behind by McCartney.
Well, there's a good response, and it's probably the first time we've seen either of Burnley's 2 fullbacks get forward. Danny Fox, great ball in, not too far off the head of Chris Uwelemo. It's testament to Leeds that both fullbacks for Burnley really like to attack, really like to bomb forward, and that's the first time we've seen it from them.
Fox's corner, a really good one for BK to attack, to make amends, if you like.
Well, having got there, he may feel that he should be scoring this, because he gets the run on Richard Naylor and he gets his head on the ball. Real good opportunity, but that's a straight ball. One defender 3-4 yards deeper. And a cool finish from Ross McCormack, who was aware, wasn't he? Ran off the back of Michael Duff. Gave the goalkeeper the eyes, pretended he was going to slot it to the other side and pulled the ball. It's a generous round of applause from his manager.
He'll be able to tell us, Don, but that was quite a long time for him to think about it, bearing down goal one-on-one for a player who hasn't played a lot of football, let alone scored any goals in his 20 appearances for Leeds.
Well, that's why you wondered. Sometimes you see strikers that are out of goal-scoring form go clean through and you really don't fancy them. I never got that impression there from Ross McCormack. He's worked ever so hard. He's been in the thick of plenty for Leeds and got his just rewards.
Well, the season where he really made his mark was the 2008-2009 one, 21 goals in 38 games.
We do have to remind everybody that if there is one team where the first goal conceded doesn't seem to affect them, then it is Burnley. The best record. They've come in from losing positions in the Championship. They are never beaten. It's not been the ideal position that Eddie Howe would have wanted his team in after 36 minutes of this match. I don't think anybody can argue. Leeds have probably deserved their lead so far.
Mears, good pressure on him by Bradley Johnson. He'd stolen it away. Came close to stealing it away, actually, didn't he?
He did. It's just been a real feature. The closing down from Leeds United, the work rate. Very, very hungry. Not giving Burnley too much time and space on the ball.
Well, in recent times, if there has been an awkward way of doing things, Leeds United have tended to manage to find it. You only have to wind the clock back 12 months to see them stutter over the line to automatic promotion last year. Is history going to repeat itself 12 months on? And they're going to be able to pull this one out of the bag. Of course, they rely on snookers from elsewhere.
They can only take care of their own house. And they know they're a long way from doing that just yet.
And he knows Ken Bates as he looks on here. 6 points from 24 is far from ideal form for the playoffs. Actually, in this relegation form, only the local rivals Doncaster are in worse form in the Championship at the moment. But a late flurry, and as we've said all afternoon, you just never know. Eagles. Maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves. We are getting ahead of ourselves. There's still an hour of football to be played here, the best part of anyway.
Twists and turns, and there still being a few to come in this season. There may still be a few to come this afternoon. Do not rule it out. Look at the other fixtures of the likes of Millwall. Home to Swansea today and away to Barnsley. And then, of course, Forest. Scunthorpe at home, scrapping for their lives, and Crystal Palace away. Well, Leeds United will testify what a difficult place that can be to go, and that's why these two teams will keep going.
McCormack.
That's not one of his best contacts, is it? Another aerial ball that Leeds win. Takes a swing at it, just doesn't get the contact that he's after.
There's going to be a loose one from Danny Fox, but Jensen's out. Just for a minute, it looked like he was thinking about picking it up. Thought better on it the big day. Eagles. Rodriguez. Oh, that thunders it away. Bit more pressure on Jensen this time, applied by Billy Painter. And they're away again. McCormack. And that is going to be a booking at best for Duff. There were men on the cover, so yeah, it's not going to be anything more than that.
It's what you call cynical, and the referee, Phil Crossley, knows. Hasn't got any choice but to book the Burnley skipper. I think the Burnley skipper knows that. And those Leeds United supporters shouting for a red card. No chance. Clever though, isn't it, from Ross McCormack? Again, we wondered what that goal would do for his confidence. He has been in the thick of the action in an attacking sense for Leeds United.
He was hungry and busy before. There's a little more zest about his play since the goal, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's the striker's currency, isn't it? McCartney. Good delivery, that one. Hoisted high, just too high for Naylor. McCormack there just lost his footing.
There's a few players, isn't there, just losing their footing out there. A heavily watered pitch, but Naylor, they thought he was going to get on the end of that. It's helped back in really well as it's flicked on. Just a little slip there from Ross McCormack.
Some players have their clubs as well, don't they, Don, that they like to score against, and Burnley comes into that category for Ross McCormack. It's 3-3 against them now.
It was a very, very cheap corner to be given away. That's what Burnley need, set piece. Three particularly big players will be marked by three of Leeds' best headers of the ball. I think Burnley just may have a slight height advantage over Leeds United. So these set pieces may represent a real threat.
Well, a desperate desire to level the scores before half-time.
Good clear communication. Kasper Schmeichel took control of the situation.
Here's Gravel. Kilkenny. McCann in there to take it away from Painter. Johnson.
Well, Jay Rodriguez has been moved as a second striker now for Burnley. Looks like they've gone to a 4-4-2. Pushed Chris Eagles out to the left-hand side. Rodriguez a bit closer to Chris Uwelamu. They have to do something, don't they? Because they haven't really been in the game as a real attacking force the way that Eddie Howe would want them to be. Seen too much of Chris Eagles. Haven't really seen a good service in to Chris Uwelamu. And things have to get better if they're going to give themselves a chance.
We talked about all Leeds insecurities. Burnley will be harbouring a few of their own. They played against 10 men for a crucial period of the game in their win at Derby last time out. That aside, they'd lost their previous 3 away games. Dreadful run of 5 defeats in 6 overall, which, if they do miss out, they'll reflect on as the period that cost them a charge to the playoffs.
It's been that fragile away form, isn't it? They do concede a lot of goals.
All those looking with claret-tinted spectacles will tell you that a win here, if they can turn this round, McCormack's offside that. The Burnley win here would be their 7th away of the season, which would be the same as the season they went up via the playoffs. Even though at the comparative time to this season, to that season, they are actually 5 points worse off this time round than they were under Owen Coyle. Calling from McCann, now Eagles. McCann wants the return ball. Instead it's Fox, just too high for Rodriguez. This is Mears. Now Elliott. Plenty in the middle here for Burnley, but it's cut out by McCartney. Super play from Bradley Johnson to break it up, but that's a wasteful ball by McCartney. Johnson again, this time taking no chance and doing the clearing himself. 1 added minute. Owelemo. Mears. Concerning time for Leeds in this added time at the end of the first half. Promising for Burnley, it's Eagles, it's wide.
Oh, the one requirement from Chris Eagles here is to keep this ball down. It's awkward, bounces down, it's a little bit behind him, and he has got the ability to hit the target from there.
Well, he'd rather have had 2 or 3 goals, Simon Grayson, and a nice half-time cushion. As it is, it's 1, but it'll do for Leeds United. Both managers before the game saw it as must-win, and at half-time, courtesy of Ross McCormack's first goal for the club, it's Leeds United who are in front. Burnley might have their gripes. On another day, might have been a penalty after Chris Owelemo was climbed on by Andy O'Brien. But the Roses' celebration at half-time are of the white variety. The Scotsman stepping up for Leeds. Half-time analysis with Simon and Peter when we come back.